Hello and welcome to United and Everything Football. This is part 2 of this week's weekly podcast here on our channel. Thanks for joining and thanks for always being with us. As usual, remember to hit the subscribe button or always hit the notification bell as well. We are grateful to have you with us to help grow this community. If you are watching for the first time, please, and if you've been watching and you're not subscribed yet, please remember to hit the subscribe button. It's very important to us. I'm here with Kwame Nchubuesiafo and then Sicho Ikadi. I intentionally had the Ikadi to it. Solid striker.
Yeah, man.
Great to have you guys back on the podcast with us. Let's go for this break. When we come back, we'll just delve straight into the games or the issues that we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about the injury woes. We'll be talking about the run of form, the game against Fulham. We have a debate at the end. Who does Hoyland looks like? Kind of strikers that we've had in the past. We'll pick the thoughts of our guest. We had a poll. We'll pick the thoughts of our guest on that situation. When we come back, we'll delve straight into the issues. This is United and Everything. All right, thank you very much. We are back from our quick break. This is United and Everything Football. It looks like the injury woes are back again. It was Lisandro Martinez who went away in a West Ham game. Malacia has been injured for God knows how long, and we don't know if he'll be playing any football for United. Mason Mount hasn't had a great start to his United's career due to injuries. He's been there. Now, Luke Shaw is likely to miss the rest of the season. He's going out for 12 weeks. 12 weeks. And I'm sure by the time he comes back, the season is over. Guys, let me start with you, Sicho. It looks like the injury woes are back. And the last time I had a conversation with you on this podcast, you made mention of the fact that the injuries have contributed to how United have fared this season. And when they were picking form, it looks as if the injury is trying to have hits the key players that the club uses. Luke Shaw is gone back. Lisandro Martinez is gone back. What is really happening and how is it going to affect the team?
Well, listen, I think the injuries this season, some of them for me are tied to last season. Because some of these players played a lot of minutes. Remember there was a time where the same starting 11, the same players, and even now, even for those who are not injured, they are looking like they are burning out. Typical example is the captain Bruno Fernandes. We know his quality and everything, but he's playing very tired. Yeah. Apart from the Lisandro Martinez injury, that for me really is, if you like, a contact injury. If you look at the injury that Luke Shaw is carrying, it's also been poorly managed.
Yeah.
When you look at Luke Shaw's injury record, well, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not going to say he probably was very fit. But I think that when you look at his medical record, you can't treat his injuries like any other player. You've got to take proper care of Luke Shaw. Because we've seen him, it's not the first time we've seen him get injured, come back, and straight away have a setback.
Yeah.
And it's happened again. As soon as he got it back into the team, he's put up something again. And Shaw's body hasn't necessarily helped him. And that is why when he was rewarded with that lengthy contract for a player with the injury record that he's got, and it was going to be around 30 by the time the contract was made with you, I was quite not for it. Mm-hmm. Because we know his injury record, and it's not going to all of a sudden change because that's 29 or 30. But I think that I feel very sorry for him. He's such a good player. When he plays for the club plays better. So yeah, Ten Hag has been very unlucky with the injuries, but I think maybe then the club needs to start looking into their medical team. The club has to start having, Anthony Martial has almost always been injured.
Yeah.
Being in the club.
I even forgot to mention his name.
Yeah,
Wan-Bissaka
is injured. Harry Maguire as well. Let's not forget Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
He's been in and out of the team. Rafael Varane injury record as well hasn't been great. But even for players who traditionally, Casemiro's records at Real Madrid was great. He was injury free. But since he got to Man United, it's not been the same for him. So we've got to maybe the club now under Ineos have to now take a second look at that medical team, and maybe then that could be where the solution comes from.
Kwame, we have a new medical doctor, a medical officer in charge of.
Yeah.
I mean, we poached a medical officer from Arsenal,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look as if the situation is improving or getting any better. Where are we? Where do we stand? How is it affecting us? Because it's getting quite worrying for everyone.
It's good Cicho started this conversation because it drew my attention to a couple of things that I wasn't really aware of. It's got like you said, we have used certain players way more than we usually should. The reason is we don't have a depth and quality in our squad. So from last season all the way through this season, the coach has a set of players that he would usually tend to. And when there is a drop of quality, let's say these players are injured, these players he would want to rely on are injured, you can clearly tell that whoever comes in for these players, the drop off is so huge, so huge. When for that brief moment he had the full complement of his team, you saw how we played. Even if it wasn't for entire games, you could see that this is exactly how he wants to play. But how do you even build anything if these players just take this revolving door and go back into the treatment room? So that's where we are. Casemiro never played 50 plus games for Real Madrid in his entire time in Spain or Portugal or Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
First time in a very difficult league, different league. He played over 50 games.
An old man Casemiro.
Exactly.
Advanced
so whatever injuries he's experiencing now, we purchased it from last season. How often we use them. We're even lucky that he got a couple of suspensions from red cards, else he would have played more.
Yeah, to give him rest.
Exactly. So, and then when he steps out of the side, there is no able deputy. We've struggled to find anybody who can actually play in that position. So that's where we are. Our squad isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Squad isn't good enough. We just got about 12, 13, 14 players who you can sort of say these are good players. These are players when they are available to Erik ten Hag, they sort of make us see what he wants to play. And because the squad isn't good enough, players have been bent out, and we are now turning to French players who are not going to produce the same type of football that we want. But then at the state of the season where it's just results business. So now I'm done with style. It's not going to work. Get me 3 points.
Give me the 3 points.
3 points.
Results.
Because see, Shaw out. When you take Shaw, you take Martinez out. Out of that back four, there are 3 players. Let's say I'll start in back four. You've got Dalot, who is technically sound enough.
Yeah.
Shaw, technically sound enough. And then you have Martinez. You've taken half of that back four out.
Yeah.
And we probably have to shift Dalot to the left because Lindelof can't keep playing there.
See, I have a theory. Hear me out, Kwame. I have a theory.
Yeah.
Play Anthony at left back and be free.
Bro, I think I tweeted this. I mean, Anthony has been praised for his defensive shifts. Give him a shot.
Play Anthony at left back.
I've been brainstorming as to how we solve this.
Hear me out.
Because I was like, do we play Kambuela or whatever his name is as right back and then shift that low to left back?
I mean,
or Amrabat. You shift Amrabat back. It's just a crazy situation. And if you want to play out of the back, anybody else who plays on the left side
is dead.
Maguire,
is dead.
It's just dead. So how are we going to play out of the back? So now I'm not about style anymore. I'm back to my former
results.
Forget about style. Just get me my results.
Anyway, so that's it with the injury issues. It keeps recurring. It keeps it's still not improving, and the club needs to have a second look at it. I'm sure Ineos coming in with their sports science. I mean, they have a very great sport.
Malacia! I forgot. Malacia's long-term injury is what has cost us. I think he had a setback from a surgery that was done.
Yes.
And they were thinking that he could be available by January, and then that's why they let Sergio Reguilón, and that's turning out to look like a very stupid decision in the end. But then, what can you say?
I think it was. I mean, given Shaw's injury records and other things, how long will it take for him to complete the last 6 months before he leaves? It doesn't
I
make
think
sense.
that
especially.
the Malasia
I
injury,
know,
did not
that's what
anticipate another
informed
one.
that decision, and
Yeah,
Exactly.
my point was that knowing Shaw's injury record,
yeah,
one, and Malaysia being out for so long, I would still
why?
have kept Sergio Reguilon because even if Malaysia
Yeah.
returns, nobody's sure in what form, in what shape
That's the point.
that he would be in. So
That's the
I would have
point.
kept a safety net of Reguilon in the team anyway. But yeah, it's all ifs and
I
buts
mean,
at the moment.
that's it. Classic United. We hope all of these things get rectified with Ineos in the picture now, with
Yeah.
quality people managing our football, with some of these decisions that we had. But Sicho, let's get to you on the back of these injuries. United are back in form. The last time we came, we're not too sure about United's top four hopes. But just 2 weeks, the way things have changed. I mean, it was against the West Ham game that we had the last conversation on the top four. We're not so hopeful because we felt the teams ahead. On the back of that, United has beat Villa, has beat Luton, closed the gap to top 4 to 5, 3 points behind Spurs in fifth position. Do you still think it's going to be difficult for United given the run of results that the club has had over the couple of weeks?
I still think if now, as we speak, the top four is up for grabs because of the inconsistencies of Spurs and even recently Aston Villa. So if United can put up a run of form and get more results on the board, and Spurs and Villa don't rediscover their form, then I think United can still make it into a top four. I was very skeptical because even though Spurs and Aston Villa don't have the great, are not in a great shape or in great form, they look a more settled team for me. And Spurs, I knew we're going to get a lot more of their big players coming back. So now that all of those boys are back and they'll be a bit more rested, having not been engaged in midweek, Son Heung-min will be more rested now. Isuma, Sa, all these boys have come back. So I think Spurs have still got what it takes. But listen, if they're going to be slacking, United can pick up these points, then great. But the point then is, can United continue with this new wave of form? Because we've seen that before. We've only just also discussed the injury worries that will surely take something away from the team and how light the team has been in some department in midfield and in defense. And that is where the worry is. If United had the squad fit, everybody fit, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw fit, and everybody else fit enough and could play maybe some 10, 15 games, then you are sure maybe they could be pushing, but they still can. I just think that with the injuries United have got, they will push, but maybe just fall. I hope they make it. I hope they make it. But if I want to be realistic, maybe just fall short slightly because Aston Villa and Spurs have got a more settled team. They've got more players around to play with, and if they can rediscover some form, we will struggle.
Well, Kwame, let me get to you quickly. Sicho makes mention of Villa, the form, and Spurs. We are just hoping that. But Sicho, one thing maybe you have not noticed: Villa are also losing
Yeah,
players. A lot of them as well.
yeah,
They've
yeah.
lost. They've lost
They've also had
Konsa.
lots of injuries.
Diego Carlos is gone
Yeah,
for a while. Tyron Mings is gone. Emiliano
Mings has never been
Buendia.
around this season, has he?
Buendia, yeah. Mings hasn't been around. He got injured in the first game they played, and that was it.
Game, yeah. Wendy
Buendia
as
has
well
also
got
been
injured very early,
away, also in a long-term injury, and quite a number.
and
But
Diaby is out of form.
Diaby is out of
which
form.
which
But
is
some way,
great.
somehow, well, they also have Europa Conference League games to be also playing.
Exactly.
And that
Great,
that
great
throws a
point.
bit of dynamic into the whole situation. But Kwame, the concern
Yeah.
is United. You've made mention of the putting style away and getting results and all of that. Are you still confident that United can make top four?
100%. Because it's not, we're not competing with Liverpool, Arsenal, or City for a top four spot. We're competing with Spurs and Aston Villa. It's Spurs and Aston Villa. It's Spurs and Aston Villa.
Spurs
Come
will
on.
pull a Spursy on us, right?
The thing about Spurs is, fine, they've had players coming back, but the defeat they suffered last weekend has been coming for a while.
Yeah.
They've been playing on the edge for quite some games now, where they could so easily have lost a lot of the games that they won. Not even to talk about drawing them, they could so easily have been on the wrong end of some of the results. They play basketball. They actually play. It's enterprising, it's exciting, but what you see every 90 minutes is a team that gives another team opportunities to win the football game. But by the end of the day, some way, somehow, they pull off a late winner, 93rd minute winner, and then it's always dramatic with them. That defeat was coming. And I feel Spurs being Spurs could bottle a few more results. And the sequence of fixtures can also play a factor. United have one tough game in the next 5 games. That's the game away to City. If you look at the schedule, a lot of the games on our schedule look very, very friendly. In that same period of time, Aston Villa and Spurs play each other. Spurs would soon go on a run where they face all top 3 teams in a row: Liverpool, Arsenal, City. That opens a sort of window for Manchester United if we can put a run together. When you look at our fixtures, there are big games, all right, but the schedule looks kind, where you have one big game here, 3 good games, decent games where you expect us to win. It's spread out kind of okay. So I think that goes in our favor. As for Villa, even if we don't pip one of them to a spot, I think Villa is a team that we could actually easily pip to a fifth spot. I mentioned fifth spot because there's a likelihood that fifth place may still offer Champions League football next season, depending on how the English teams continue to perform in Europe this season. So we have to support the likes of Arsenal and City to at least do well, the likes of Villa to do well in the Conference League, the likes of Brighton, the West Ham should all be doing well. Is it West Ham? Yeah, to do
West
well
Ham,
in the Europa League.
Yeah, Europa League.
The further those teams go, the likelihood that England would have a fifth team for the Champions League spot. So
all right, okay. That's an interesting one. So we'll look at how these games play out over the period. United have made a very good claim. That's what's consistent results, or a run of results gives to you. I mean, you're able to put together a very good run. It puts you in a very better position. United has cleared its way of the people behind it. So the gap between United and the team behind us, Brighton, is quite also huge. Not huge, but I think 7 points or so. So you have a bit of a breather. You can just look ahead. Now let's look at the game against Fulham. If United win that game, it will be on level point with Tottenham Hotspurs, who will be playing this weekend because Chelsea will play in the Carabao Cup. Ticho, let's analyze that game. Fulham have been quite inconsistent. Like, they win and they lose, and they have a period where they put together a very good run. But they're a very good side, very troubling side. Last season, United picked 6 points from them. Already they've picked up 3 points from Fulham this season. But they've always looked like tough customers, but some way, somehow, United find a way of winning. How is it going to play out this weekend?
Yeah. Listen, I think Fulham will see a lot of the ball. And Marco Silva's teams tend to especially with a team that is good in midfield. Tom Kahn is brilliant when he holds the ball. João Palhinha is everything. It's every manager's dream kind of midfielder. Wins the ball well, set the pace well, wins tackles. He can score goals as well, and he's in the right place at the right time for his side. And I have a feeling that when teams now begin to see a lot of the ball, it's to the advantage of Man United, because they are just not good when they have to keep a lot of the ball.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw against Luton Town. Even though Luton, and many people have said Luton played well, they were the better team, they deserve a draw. But the truth is, because Luton played well and saw a lot of the ball, United had the best chances of their game. United could have 4-1, it could have been 4-1, it could have been 5-1, it could have been 6. United just couldn't take their chances. Yeah. And I have a feeling that similar things are going to happen against Fulham, where they will see a lot of the ball. Andres Pereira, Man United's own Andres Pereira will get on the ball, really, and very tidy on the ball. All of these players will like to stay on the ball. I still think they've got goal scoring problems with their striker, but where the goals do come from is their wide players. Yeah. Reed can score goals. Yeah. Willian can chip in some of the goals, and that is what the danger is. If United can defend well in those areas that you speak about, Luke Shaw not being around, we're not too sure who deals with the threats coming off our left side of the defense, and that is where the trouble would be. In midfield as well, I worry a little bit, because they will surely have João Palhinha, who is more physical.
Yeah,
he can get around. He's got the legs as well to get around Casemiro and even at times Menu. So that is another part of the pitch where I'm sure we're gonna maybe we might lose. But when we do that, maybe then the more they have the ball, the more we set off Garnacho and Rashford and Højlund to find the back of the net with what we've seen in Ten Hag's transition football so far in the last couple of weeks or so.
Is Højlund scoring again? A man in form.
Oh, you can't bet against him now, can you? The man is on fire. Listen, I won't bet against him. I think he can still some way somehow get the goal into the back of the net. That has been the team. Some way somehow it's always there.
Yeah. Anyway, Kwame, your thoughts on the game, Fulham. I remember how difficult it was for us in the IFA Cup tie we played against them.
No,
they shot themselves in that game and then were able to find our way.
Yeah, even in the reverse fixture, the game in London this season, I think we needed a late goal from Bruno Fernandes.
From Bruno, yeah.
So it's not going to be easy, but then we need to win. Every game is a final now, so we need to win. We need to win those sorts of games because I have this board. I posted it in the group where I've taken fixtures that I think we should 100% win, and then the 50-50 fixtures. Fulham is one of them. Fulham is a fixture we almost always win, especially at Old Trafford. So we should win. It's just how are we going to do it? I don't care about how we're going to do it now. I would have cared a couple of weeks ago, but now I don't care. just take that win and then get on level on Spurs, put some pressure on them.
Win anyhow.
Win anyhow.
That's where we are. I've reverted to my stance a couple of months ago. Now win anyhow because that's just it. Højlund, I think he scores again.
Wow.
You see, the thing is, when one goes in, then
the confidence.
He's getting lucky now. Exactly, like the things that used to happen
ball,
in the first,
beating the marker. Exactly. I mean, all sorts
everything now just works for you. The luck just finds you. All the balls that were not going in before, they are getting off your ass and then they are going in. Everything just works. I just feel like he's on a roll right now, and maybe the City fixture is the one that puts a halt to it. Maybe, but not this weekend's fixture. He scores again.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much on that. So we are wrapping up, but we are wrapping up with this. We put up a poll on our X handle, Man United Ball. We asked this question that of the strikers United have signed in the past decade, whose game is Højlund most similar to? Van Persie, Ibrahimovic, Cavani, or Cristiano Ronaldo? A lot of you, per the poll as you are seeing on the screen, went for Van Persie. Citro, let me pick your thoughts on that quickly. Who do you think Højlund's game is like?
Listen, I don't think it's any of the players we mentioned in that list. I think it's, I won't say his game, but the kind of goals he's scoring for Man United is very similar to what Javier Hernandez Chicharito will score. You know, sometimes it's just in the right place at the right time. I remember the goal he scored where he was lying on the turf, ball comes off his chest.
The
more recent goal that he's in a place, just pushing the ball into the back of the net. The Maguire connection gets to him, and he just, so I think he's scoring goals that Chicharito would score when he was in Man United. When it comes to the way he's playing, I don't think. I've seen that. Not many people are saying Van Persie, but listen, Van Persie was a different breed. He was at times a number 10. At times he could play as a number 10. Harry Kane actually has done a lot of the things that Van Persie used to do. Maybe not very deeper, but in terms of being a team player, even as a striker, I don't think it's Van Persie. I think he's scoring goals like Chicharito will score. By the way he's playing is Højlund, no one else.
It's Højlund, no other person. Kwame, who do you think? Kwame, who do you think
of the four on the list, the closest to me, because like Chicho said, he's not like any of them. But then the closest, I think Cavani. Cavani, the type of goals that he scores, he's just making that around. The thing is, we are not serving him the way we should. Otherwise, he's somebody who is able to run in behind defenses, who is able to, get to the first pole. He's able to do certain things that a typical number 9 does. It's just that we don't, our wide players, they're not used to serving a center forward like that. But Cavani for me. Cavani
for you. All right. Guys, that's it. So thank you for being part of the poll. We'll be bringing a lot of the polls that we put out there. If you're not following us on X, it's at Man United Ball. Just go on X and then give us a follow so you'll be seeing the poll and then you can cast your vote anytime you put it up there. Every weekend we'll be bringing you a poll, and then we'll be discussing what is in the poll with our panelists or our guests here on the show. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on United and Everything Football. Kwame, thank you very much. Sicho, it was great having you guys. Thank you too for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you've not, I'm asking you, subscribe. It's very important to us. Comment in the comment section, and also like and share with your friends. We are grateful to you for your time. We'll be back again after the game against Fulham. So we have fun. We know we are going to win that game. Yes, we are winning it. Going level with Spurs, putting pressure on them, and hopefully Villa loses as well, so that the gap will be like some 2 points, and then we'll know what to do. All right, thank you so much. We'll be back same time after the game against Fulham. Have a great time. We see you.